Disclaimer: I am just a humble Genshin Impact fan. I do not own any of the rights to Genshin Impact, or any of the content within it, such as the lore books. Those specifically belong to Hoyoverse. What I do have, however, are friends with things like learning disabilities, such as dyslexia and ADHD, or very little free time, making reading the lore books either in-game or on wiki pages hard for them. Our solution to these problems has been for me to make these recordings so that they can listen to them and still get to enjoy Genshin lore like the rest of us. I have chosen to upload these recordings to YouTube as a way of sharing them with other fans within the community who might be in similar situations. I am admittedly no voice actress, trained narrator, or video editor, but I have tried my best, so please be gentle with me. Therefore, without further ado, let's get into today's story. Sangonomiya Chronicles. Historical annals written by the famous shogunate historian Kujou Michizane, who was known as the Kujou Senpitsu-to, or the Great Calligrapher. It chronicles the history of Watatsumi Island in broad strokes. Found on a table in the Komore Teahouse. Sangonomiya was once an ocean abyss until the Great Serpent came, forming a vortex with its spiral movements and fashioning the coral into an island. Thus, the people of Sangonomiya named their island Watatsumi, meaning God of the Sea, for the Great Serpent was their god. The inhabitants of Watatsumi call themselves the people of the sea and worship the Great Serpent as the Orobashi no Mikoto. On Watatsumi Island, the shrine is the seat of government, and there are no commissioners appointed by the shogunate. All business, great and small, is conducted by the shrine maidens. The head shrine maiden, or divine priestess, is the head of government and ceremonial affairs. During the Archon War, Her Excellency the Almighty Raiden Ogosho brought all of Inazuma under her unified rule. The masses bowed down in fear and awe, and each was content with their lot, else they were annihilated. No longer did they covet that to which they were not entitled. The Great Serpent Orobashi no Mikoto had always remained in the western region and respected the boundary between itself and the Narukami, and the two had lived in peace. But now it suddenly transgressed the boundary and invaded the east without warning. The war was brutal and brought great suffering to the people. The two sides fought bitterly on what is now known as Yashiori Island, with many casualties and injuries on both sides. Her Excellency's cherished Tengu general, Sasayuri, was among those who lost their lives. Finally, the Great Serpent was slain by the Ogosho, where its remains now lie on Yashiori Island. Thereafter, Sangonomiya sent envoys to announce surrender, and they have recognized the Inazuma shogunate as the legitimate and supreme ruler ever since. Other information. The cover is written in the Inazuma language and reads Sangonomiya. The book's cover uses Sangonomiya Kokomi's portrait as its artwork. There is considerable debate among the fandom about when in Inazuma's history this book is chronicling. Some point out that Treasured Tales of the Chokin Shinkageuchi mentions Orobashi attacking after the Archon War. There is a camp that believes that A slew Orobashi while Makoto/Baal was at the Archon War, and that the general public, like the author of this book, didn't even know the Archon died. This is because of the use of the word Ogosho and how it means retired shogunate or retired authority figure in Japanese. Others point out that it's possibly a historical revisionism, as it was written by a Kujou historian and therefore heavily favouring the shogunate, who has always been at odds with Sangonomiya. Other names. Sources. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Ad Astra Abyssosque.